Hello everyone, I'm Trish Triumpho Sullivan, and I'm here to talk to you today about assignment number 7, which is a candid portrait. So I want you to think a little bit about our last assignment, which was a formal portrait, and what the difference is. This is basically the other type of a portrait. So a formal portrait is planned, the subject knows that they're going to get their photo taken, and a candid portrait is totally the opposite. It's unposed. The subject is totally unaware that their portrait is going to be taken, so they have no idea, and they should never be aware that you're taking their portrait. So it's a stealthy or a secret portrait, right? So you're kind of sneaking that portrait for them. So it's a candid portrait, opposite of formal. So let's go ahead and we will go over it really quickly on how to do this candid portrait. So like I said, it's the opposite of the formal. Actually, let me write it up high here so I have room to write the other stuff I want to write. We'll put up here. So it's the candid portrait. Right. It's assignment number 7. Right? And it is one image. And there's some tricks to doing it. So we're going to talk about all of the different things. So what do people do when they know that their photo is going to be taken? Well, sometimes they turn away and hide their face, right? They're like, no, don't take a photo of me. No, don't want to do it, right? Or they pose, right? All of a sudden, someone's relaxed and normal, and they know their photo's being taken, and they're like, shoulders back, chest out, gut sucked in, and a big smile. Whew. That was exhausting, right? Does it look natural? No, it doesn't look natural. So one of the best ways to capture someone's true personality and feelings is by using a candid approach. So you're taking a candid photograph, meaning that the subject does not know, they have no idea that their photo is being taken. So it's a little sneaky. It's one of the most challenging of our assignments, but it's also one of the most fun when you can get it right. Okay, so we have some rules, and basically it needs to be an adult person, right? You can't be taking photos of children. So I have some rules for this. Right, the rules. There's some no's, all right? No pets. Right, no pets. Because why? Because every photo of a pet is a candid photo, right? They're unaware their photo's being taken, so there's no challenge there. Every photo of a pet's a candid, right? No babies. Why? Because every photo of a baby is a candid photo, right? They're unaware their photo's being taken. So there's no challenge there, right? So no babies. I classify a baby as any child that's still in a diaper. If they're still in a diaper, they're a baby, okay? Once they're out of diapers, you can do a candid photo of them, but that means they're pretty much walking and talking, and they're little adults now, right? So that's exactly why it's no babies, nothing in a diaper, okay? No sleeping people. Right? Nobody's sleeping. Why is that? Because every portrait of a person sleeping is a candid portrait, right? You're not taking photos of people taking a nap or sleeping in bed or anything like that. Okay, that's not. So no sleeping people. No. These are all big no's. Okay. No stage acts. Right? So no stage acts. That's a big no-no. So you can't do a stage act because every photo like that is a candid photo. That means they are expecting their photo to be taken. So they're already up there posing for it. So no photos of stage acts. That means live music or a theater or anything like that. So no, I hate to have to say this, but unfortunately it seems like I do have to say it. No shots of anyone on the toilet or in the bathroom at all. Right? And honestly, that's just too much information. It's probably illegal as well. So you're not going to burst in on your friend or your family member sitting on the toilet or in the shower or in any state of dressing or undressing and take their photo like, surprise, No, that's not cool, and you'll get a F on that assignment without the possibility of resubmitting, okay? Okay, also nobody reading, right? Nobody on their phone, right? Because people get so engrossed in their phone that they can't pay attention, okay? No TV and no video games, right? So let's go over this again. These are the no's. You cannot take a candid portrait of a pet, dog or cat or other animal, okay? No babies, no sleeping people, no stage acts, right? No live music or other performance. No toilet or bathroom, okay? No reading, no people reading, no people on the phone, no people watching TV or people playing video games. And that's because these are all where people have their attention so focused that it's not going to give you the kind of a look we want to have. Okay, so it's a no, a 0 no. Okay, so none of those. You'll get a bad grade for that, okay, or no grade. And finally, you guys, no peeping Tom. Right? You're not going to be taking a photo of your neighbor through their bedroom window while they're, doing something. Okay, that is a 0 no, right? It's highly illegal. I'm not going to be bailing you out of jail, okay, when you get caught, because you will. Someone will be on the phone to 911 and the cops are going to come, okay? So do not take photos of someone in their home. And that's where we're going to come and talk about the legal aspect of it. So the rules are pretty clear, right? If you forget them, come back and watch this again before you do it, right? And so legally, when a person is in their home, they have a right to a reasonable right, a reasonable expectation, I should say, of privacy. Okay, so when you're in your own home and in your own backyard, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy. That means it's illegal to take photos of someone through their window or over their back fence. Okay, that's on their private property, and that is illegal because by law, they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. So at home, people have a reasonable expectation of privacy. Expectation of privacy. So when you're at home, you have that expectation. In public, and this means any public place, out on the street, in a restaurant, in a store, at a park, any place that's public, okay, there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. right? That's very important to remember, because when you're taking a photo out in public, you can take it of anyone. There's not any person in public that you're not allowed to take a photo of. Does it mean the person's going to like their photo being taken? Probably not. So you have to remember that there's that thing that people don't like to have their photo being taken, and so you want to do it secretly or stealthily so that the person does not know their photo's being taken, okay? So in public, there's no reasonable expectation of privacy. You can take anyone's photo anytime. Does it mean they're going to like it? They may not like it. So you want to be kind of secretive and use some eye directors in the same way that a magician does. So let's talk about that. What you want to do is you want to shoot from the hip. Okay, this is what you want. Shoot from the hip. And all that means is that you hold your camera down by your hip, right? And you use some little subterfuge to get people to not notice you're taking a photograph. And one of those things is by looking the other way, because we've talked about this when we talked about eye directors. What happens when you see someone looking up, right? You want to look up, right? That's human nature. What happens when you see someone looking down? They're looking all around. What's going on? You want to look down too, because you're like, well, where's that $100 bill, right? I want to find it first. So when you're taking a photograph, as candid photograph, you want to make sure that you shoot from the hip and kind of look the other way, which means you have to pre-focus your camera. So let's talk about that really quickly, and then we will look at some examples, and I'll show you exactly how to do this assignment. Okay, so shooting from the hip is something you have to practice. Just like the pan shot where you've got to, follow, click, and keep going, right? You have to do the same kind of a thing with your candid. You have to practice it to get good at it. Those of you who got it right the first time, man, congratulations. If you can do a pan shot perfectly the first time, but you're better than me, because it takes me a couple tries, right? Every time I do it, I have to do a couple tries to get good at it again, and that's why it's practice. You've got to practice to be good, okay? So with a candid shot, you're going to shoot from the hip. And you're going to pre-focus your camera. And that means if you have a lens that you can focus manually, you're going to look on it and you'll see some little numbers on there that tell you how many feet you are away from your subject. So you can actually guess. You can be like, okay, I think that person's about 6 feet away. I'm going to set my lens to 6 feet, and then you just kind of hold it down and take your photo, right? You want to hold it by your hip, but you want to, if your person that you're photographing is over here, you want to be looking over there. So you have to have it pre-focused and just kind of hang on to it nonchalantly, look over that way, click, right? And the person's never going to know their photograph's being taken, right? You can even pre-focus on something else that's about the same amount away. So in other words, if your subject is over here and you think they're about 6 feet, then you focus on something over there that's about 6 feet away, pre-focus your camera, or do your shutter button halfway down, right? We talked about that, kind of halfway down in the shutter button. And then, you put your camera down and click, right? You take your photo of your subject. And you can even hold it kind of like this with your thumb so it looks like you're not even doing anything, okay? If the person hears the click, you can just pretend it's, oops, who knows, right? So you want to pre-focus your camera. You want to look in the other direction. Right? What direction? So you're going to look in the opposite direction from where you're photographing. So if your subject is over here, right, and you're here, you're going to look this way. While you hold your camera to shoot there, right? And this person's never going to know that you're taking their photograph, right? And this is great to know how to do, especially if you see a celebrity in public and you want to photograph a celebrity, and you know how celebrities don't like to have their photograph taken, right? They have too much paparazzi and stuff. Knowing how to do it very stealthily and very secretively is a great talent to have. It's a great skill, I should say, to have. So you want to be able to do this, and it takes a little practice. So you're going to practice shooting, pre-focusing your camera and shooting from your hip before you actually go to take your candid portrait. Okay, you're going to take some photos, and you can delete them when you're done, but try pre-focusing and then try holding your camera and shooting while you're looking the other way. You'll get good at it, I promise you. It just takes practice, just like riding a bike takes a little bit of practice. So to re-up it here, candid portrait means the subject does not know their portrait's being taken. We can tell if the person knows. There's a certain look they have that means that they know their portrait's being taken. So you must follow the rules on this. You have to do a candid portrait, which means the subject is completely unaware of the portrait being taken, okay? You're gonna have no pets, no sleeping people, no babies, no stage or performance acts, no stalking or peeping Tom, no toilet shots or bathroom, no people reading or on the phone in any manner, texting or whatever, no TV and no video games, okay? The person has to be doing something that is not any of those things, okay? And legally, you have the right to take a photograph of anyone out in public, right? If they're outside of their home, on a public street, in a public place, a park, anything, that's exactly it. Okay, that's what they have. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a little demo. We'll do a little demo, okay? And I'll show you some examples in the second part of this lecture. See you there.